Hello guys, good afternoon. um, I'm sorry for looking this rough. There's no light and I was just about to eat because I have a meeting um, this afternoon in a quite a far distance. I think it's going to take about 1 hour 30 minutes to get to the location. So I was just about to eat quickly and go have my bath so I can go ahead. But this, while in the kitchen, this kept popping up. This conversation I had kept resonating in my thought, and I was like, okay, let me share. I don't usually share many of these things, but I think this one is, I can, while in the kitchen, I was just remembering how many people I've had this same conversation with. And funny enough, most of them are female, and I think it's very important that we pay attention to it. And this is it: the fear of many ladies these days, especially our generation, young people, with marriage, even church people. In spite of all the teachings some of them have heard, nonetheless they see a lot of things in church, from church people, from families in church, that is not aligning. The question on people change, and this is very true. I'm not trying to outdo that. That's very true. People change. What's not actually added is that there is always a result for that change. Like there's always a reason, I beg your pardon, for that change. People do not just change, something makes them change. It doesn't just happen that they just wake up and change. No, change do not happen suddenly. It's a process. Most times they think, when women or both guys or ladies complain that their spouse get to change, or they meet family, or they get married, the things they didn't expect, the person changes suddenly and becomes like another person from who they married, is usually just two things. Either they were the ones that did not pay attention to seeing those character, or they saw those character and chose to pay a blind eye to it. It's not possible that all of a sudden a character that wasn't part of this person just suddenly becomes their character all of a sudden. No, it doesn't just happen that way. So when we say people change, there is usually a reason behind their change. So why you should be bothered about is not the change really. It's about knowing who you are with. What's the character of this person? Who is this person truly? If he exhibits anything once, don't excuse it. Pay attention to it. He exhibits that same thing the second time, the third time. Make sure you inquire. Pay attention to it. Ask questions about it. Nip it to the bud if possible. Don't just assume that is maybe it's just one thing. You excuse it in the name of being blind to love, and you didn't ask, this character I see, what's up, what's going on, why this, why do you react like this? Anytime we have this kind of conversation about kids, about life, about whatsoever it is, or when you meet with people, I've noticed that you do this again and again and again. Pay attention to it. Don't excuse it, then later come into a marriage and begin to say, he has changed. All of a sudden, I don't know the person I married. Excuse you, you courted this person as best as you believe, or for how the longest of time you feel was satisfactory enough to court this person, and then decided to bind it in the covenant of marriage. He cannot just change all of a sudden. So I would say, instead of being afraid that people change, pay attention to whom you are with. Learn everything that needs to be learned about that person. Ask all the questions you think you need to ask, and then before you say I do. I'll pause here so that I can share the second thought in the next video.